Task sheets are an important part of our summative assessment process. We really want to set students up to be able to achieve success, and to do that, we need to be able to clarify our expectations for them. We can do that in three different ways: the task sheet, task specific clarifications on the rubrics, and oral clarifications. I'm going to start with the rubrics. It's really important that you keep the official language of the MYP rubrics and use that with your students. All these rubrics are associated or found in your subject guides, and you want to pick the one for your year. So, for example, if you teach 8th grade, you would pick year 3. If you teach 6th grade, year 1. If you teach 7th grade, your school will make a decision on whether you use year 3, which is what I would recommend, or you go back to year 1. When you what you can do to these rubrics when you're using them is you can add language, but you shouldn't really take out, like, especially the bolded terms, you don't want to take those out. For example, if the rubric is talking about showing knowledge and understanding about specific subject content, you can take out that generic specific subject content and put in what you are to match your task, like World War II, for example. Task sheets, however, are somewhere where you can both give written instruction to the students to really explain your expectations, and gives you an opportunity to do those oral clarifications. It sets the expectations without, and this is important, without awarding points for the expectations. So, for example, if you were wanting your students to do a research project and find at least 3 sources, a minimum of 3 sources, you can put that on the task sheet, but you can't put 3 sources as a level of achievement on the rubric itself. However, in oral clarifications, you can discuss what 3 sources would look like on the rubric. So with my students, what I would say is you are expected to use a minimum of 3 sources. Do you think that would be a 7-8? Students usually say no, because they know 7-8 is going a little bit more above and beyond what the expectation is. So we would back that down probably and agree it would be in the 3-4 range. Here's an example of a task sheet I might give my students. Imagine a hopeful future. This is that same statement of inquiry, can cause changes in power. You'll see I have command terms highlighted. And here I have, if they're doing the exhibit, I have expectations on size and pictures. And if they're doing the documentary, I have an expectation for length and what I want to happen. Like, I would want there to be voiceover narration, not a lot of text in it. And I would like to see background music where appropriate. And I always put, remember that text should be grammatically correct. I wanted to set that bar for my students, so they need to be thinking in those terms as well. All right, so let's get started on your task sheets. There are some sample task sheets on your Bitmoji classroom. So if you want to look at those before you get started, that would be great.